Pull up a stool and pour yourself a pint as you're about to join three intrepid drinkers, Kevin, Justin, and Mark, as they embark on another Beertastic voyage.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beertastic Voyage. My name's Kevin.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Justin. Oh my god, it happened. It went back to the way it was. I feel better now.
The stars have aligned.
Yes.
Everything's at ease.
Yeah, I feel much more at home and comfortable.
Agreed.
Especially on our new,
fancy new table.
New to you guys kitchen table thing.
It's very slick. I'm worried that my beer is going to slide.
Just like slide off.
Yeah, I miss our towel. I know it was really classy and all, but it did serve some great purpose. It was kind of like a good felt on a card table. Like, you got to have that there, otherwise things go flying.
I might have to shim the legs off. Like I had to shim our
the board,
our audio board, so that everything slides slowly towards Kevin throughout the whole episode.
Just
you can just see him on the video, just going like this and just catching stuff like I Love Lucy.
I'm gonna be shoving beer bottles down my shirt. Chug this one before it crashes. Don't worry. Oh, that'd be good. Anyway, today we are drinking some more from Port Jeff Brewing Company. This making this the third time we have joined Port Jeff Brewing Company's beers. And I believe it's episodes 1 and 29.
That
you
is
look
correct.
at the research revealed?
Yes.
So 1 and 29. There you go. So Port Jeff Brewing Company Volume 3.
Yes.
We have a really interesting collection of stuff from them today. We have an oatmeal stout that is barrel aged, and then 2 sour offerings from them. So really excited to try this stuff because it really seems as a departure from what they've done in the past.
I mean, I can't say how far in the past, but at least as long as we've been doing this, I haven't seen a bottle release like this, and also I haven't. The 2 of the beers are sours, and I don't know how often they release sours.
Yeah, I don't specifically remember previous sour releases from Port Jeff, but that was the main reason why we went down there to get these, because I saw the 2 sours on the social medias, and I was like, I need to have these.
And I like the mini cork bottles that they have. They're kind of cool looking.
Yeah, the mini Belgians.
Yeah, I enjoy those bottles. They are cool looking to me.
375 milliliters.
They are really cool, but I'm sad in my pants that I can't reuse them, because at this point, with the number of brews that Mark and I have going, we were in desperate need of bottles.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is if we could just buy a twirly thing for the cage.
I feel like I could just do it with like a 10-penny nail. Like, spin it with a propeller.
Yeah, but the tool, whatever the hell it's called, goes faster.
Yeah, also, it would make really good social media. That would be a really cool boomerang on Instagram.
Spinning it.
Yeah, spinning it.
What if you set up? Can you like play with it and maybe put like one nail through another something and then hook it into a drill bit? Because if it's on a power drill, it's much more fun.
Yeah, it is, but I guarantee you, I would snap like 12 cages. Like it would just like shred the cage.
All right, fine. We'll use my drill. That'll work better.
Yeah, so Mark's drill will definitely work better because it's really slow.
Mine has an adjustable speed.
Ooh. Technically, Mine
has a high and a low. Yeah.
Mark has slow and then shitty slow.
Absolutely useless slow. Huh?
I warned you yesterday before you started using it.
Yeah, I definitely should have been trying to cut a stainless steel bolt for this table with that. It took two attempts. It did work though, so it's not like it didn't work.
It's I don't know, 15 years old about, and the battery, like I only have the one battery, and it doesn't hold the charge that great anymore.
It's at that point,
and it's used infrequently, so generally the battery is dead. So I end up finding another way to get it done without it.
Yes,
that was the one thing. That was one of the things that I did go with when I made sure I was getting mine. I'm like, I want the wire. I don't want battery. Just get me it's got to be hardwired.
Yes,
I just don't trust the battery powered tools.
See, I wanted.
Not that I use them that often, but I just don't trust them.
I wanted the wireless just because I didn't want the weight of the wire, like pulling the back of the unit down.
Yeah.
Because I bought it for, cutting arms and shit on Warhammer 40K figures.
Yeah.
And I did, it's so fine detail work to begin with. I didn't want the extra weight of the cord, pulling it back on me all the time.
That makes perfect sense. Beer time.
Yes.
Beer time. So we are starting off with the Starboard Oatmeal Stout. It is a barrel-aged oatmeal stout.
It's the barrel-aged version of their regular oatmeal stout.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing else going on with this?
I don't think so.
No, yeah, I believe that is it. And yes, Kevin, I would agree with you. Before we started recording, you said it smells like grape juice, and
Yeah.
I can totally see what you're saying.
Yeah, it kind of has that Welch's grape juice smell to it a little bit.
It's there, but then it's followed up by booze.
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
it smells like grape juice with booze in it.
So, as the resident member of the tribe, you guys aren't probably as familiar with Manischewitz as I am.
No, I know that is a wine.
This is what it smells. This is what Manischewitz smells like.
Really?
Grape juice.
Wow.
It smells like grape juice and booze. It's
Yeah.
gross, but it tastes like.
I was at a high school party once where in Dix Hills, and
Okay.
well, yeah, and they the kid's parents apparently had some, and he had it open, and I didn't have any, so I couldn't say, but that's my only experience with Manischewitz was like illicitly drinking it at a Jewish gentleman's underage high school party.
There you go. I was gonna say usually that's the bar mitzvah Esther party, right? Like, but anyway, we're getting crunk on Manischewitz. Mom doesn't know.
Somebody in the sewer outside the temple.
So you're gonna argue with me as to whether or not this is black opaque?
I'm not normally the one that argues with you about it.
The last time you were.
Well,
Yes, you guys were arguing whether or not it could be
no,
black
this
or whatever.
is 100% black opaque.
Yeah.
It is. You can't see through it. This in particular, I remember what you're talking about now. The last one, I could see light through it. This is like devoid of any possible light.
So
The smell on it, it really does conjure up that idea of grape juice or boozy grape juice.
it's practically still too.
Yeah.
So it it's very heavy on the palate.
Yes. There's almost no carbonation to
I
it.
saw you trying to chase some aroma out of it with the coaster on top of the buzz before.
Yeah, it really wasn't doing anything.
There's no gas in there to arouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was relatively no head when we poured it, and the mouthfeel is what you'd expect from an oatmeal stout, maybe a little bit thinner because of the higher, that kind of alcohol that was pulled from the barrel, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
It's tasty. Oatmeal stouts are very near and dear to my heart, as our longtime listeners will know. And I don't know. To me, it turned an oatmeal stout into a Russian Imperial stout, basically. I don't get a lot of the oatmeal creaminess anymore, but it tastes great. It's just not, what I mean. Like if you're expecting something different,
Yeah, no, there's
different from it.
to me, there's a little bit of the texture that's still there, for the oatmeal stout kind of feel to it. I'm wondering what kind of barrel they used. If it was do we know if it was a spirit barrel or if it was just a wood barrel?
No, I'm sure there was a spirit
Yeah,
barrel.
I'm assuming it was whiskey.
Yeah.
Or maybe bourbon.
I would say definitely one of the two, especially with the alcohol notes, and it's also got some sherry qualities to it. I mean,
that's why I'm kind of wondering.
Does not say on the bottle.
That's actually why I'm wondering, because it doesn't taste as much as you get a booziness to it, but it doesn't taste as strong as a lot of the other ones that I've had. So that's why I'm wondering if it is really just that it chilled in with wood, and just imparted the wood flavor. Because I think when you I don't know if you guys got it, but I got a pretty solid vanilla note in there.
Yeah, it definitely does
speaks
have
to oak of me.
Yes, it could be that, or it could be bourbon. It's hard to say.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Maybe it's a second, maybe it's a second use, or maybe it's been used a few times, so that it's not quite so intense. But I really enjoy it.
The other reason why I think there was a spirit in there previously is because I have like a sharp lingering sensation on my palate after I swallow.
Yeah.
That I generally associate with liquor.
Yeah, me too.
No, I get that. I do, and that's why I just don't know which type it is. So I'm trying to pick out which one it would be. If it would be a bourbon, I think it's probably more of a bourbon than a straight whiskey.
Yeah, it's more than likely.
But as far as it's not so overpowering as some of the other ones that we've had, so I find this one particularly enjoyable. My only qualm is when it comes to our fantastic rating system, is this isn't the type of beer to drink in bottles and kegs and all the other things like that. The fancy tulip glass that we have here this is how you're supposed to drink this beer and enjoy the small sample of it, and in a more moderate position, I believe.
We're just missing the smoking jack.
Yeah.
And some high back wing chairs.
Yeah, and also there would be a fireplace to smash our glass into
Right.
when there's just a hint left to set it on fire.
I don't think there's enough alcohol. The alcohol is strong, but at 9.6%, I believe it is on this one. 9.4. It's not quite enough to really get that good burst of flame that you want, like you get from like sherry or scotch.
I did check the book face, and
The book face says
they just referred to it as barrel aged.
Okay. So they're not telling us anything.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it was a plain barrel though. That's so much less common. But it does have a very a good quality vanilla note to it.
Yeah,
I mean, we already had beer waffles for breakfast, but that would be good in some waffles.
Definitely would be.
And it's just a really I like this one. This one's for a brewery that I usually think of as more hop forward and making more more forms of IPAs and just they're not usually ones that go to the darker side of beers. I'm really happy with how well this one came out from them.
Yeah, their dark beers are very seasonal.
Yeah, they have the starboard oatmeal in the winter, and then I'm glad they put some in the bourbon barrels, something a little bit different. For me personally, I'd rather have the regular one. This is very good. I would definitely drink this. I'm never going to turn it down. Just between the two, I want the regular one.
In the in the cold season, they have the starboard, and then they have the cold north wind.
Well, yeah,
also.
yes,
right. Which we had that one
in episode 29.
Yes, we
did. Which is really. I just remember the artwork from the Cold North Wind when it's got the boat like all wrapped in purple and stuff. It looks like the Lich King is sailing to attack your lands.
Yeah, it was very very World of Warcraft-esque.
So, are we still going to use our normal rating system for this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we can.
Then for a normal rating system, I am going to go with a bomber on this one. That if I really wanted, I could go through this bottle over the course of a long night. And,
it's the end of the week.
Yeah, and being that, and if I had this bottle last night, I could have opened up this bottle and been unconscious because I would have gone through it. Because yesterday I had a very long tournament where I was out for about 14 hours or so, and it's the end of a very long season, where this would have been a nice beer to come back to, and it would have put me unconscious even faster than I was.
Yeah, I finished up a bottle, and I started and finished a bottle of the Velvet Hammer from Blind Bat.
Okay. Yeah, same kind of thing, like a special occasion bomber. So what are you thinking?
I would be bomber. I would also be a bomber. I drink that whole bottle. It was I really enjoyed it. I don't want everybody to think that I didn't enjoy it because I was saying that I liked the standard oatmeal stout better. It was fantastic. I would definitely go back to that for a barrel aged kick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go pint on it just because with how still it is, it's just a little too heavy on my palate. If there were a little more carbonation on there and make it a little more lively, then I'd be bomber with you guys. But without that, I'm sticking out the pint.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought. Do you think that would? It's a little sweet too. I mean, obviously with the alcohol notes in there, it's going to be sweet. Do you think that the carbonation would help with that at all?
Yeah, it certainly could because
get that little acid back from
you get the little carbonic acid bite from the dissolved CO2 in there, so that could definitely help balance it out a little bit.
Yeah. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for all the scraping and sliding of everything on our fancy new table, but I know I think the extra carbonation there might be an interesting addition to it. It might balance it out a little bit. It might just make it just a little bit lighter to the palate that you'd enjoy it a little more.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to push it far enough for me to change my rating, but I definitely think it could be enjoyable.
Speaking of lighter on the palate.
Yeah, so now we're moving on to the Lexington Golden Sour Ale, which is 11.8% alcohol.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
That's why we didn't do the last recording session, because we were already 3 in and we were like, we're going to go to a 9, 11, and another 10 plus.
Well, the 9.8 is the last.
Okay.
Either way. Oh my god, I had no idea. I especially didn't know this one was going to be like almost 12. That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this is named after a passenger steamship that sunk off the North Shore in 1840.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Justin, do you know where the wreckage is for the Lexington?
I am fairly certain at some point I did. I think we tried to fish blackfish on it.
Okay.
I don't know if we were successful or not, but I do know when I was working in a fishing boat, when we were going blackfishing, you basically, especially on the North Shore in the Sound, you find wrecks.
Yeah.
There was one in particular called the Celtic that had it was a crushed Volkswagen, from what I understand. In fact, we ripped up a steering wheel once. But we would try to find maps of wrecks and everything. I do remember coming across that. I don't remember if we drove over it. Maybe it was gone.
The 70s when they were like, oh, let's help the environment by dumping all of this waste into the ocean.
Oh my God! Well,
Artificial reefs and all.
It definitely helped my pocket, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know any history behind it or anything. It's a name that I recognize from a map.
So let's take a whiff of the color on it is a kind of like a dark apple juice.
Yeah, it's very apple juicy in appearance.
Yeah.
Same
This
sort of
is
smell,
also
too.
kind of light on the carbonation.
Yeah.
It was probably why it was a little bit more of a struggle to get the cork out of here.
Right.
There wasn't any pressure really going trying to push it out.
Yeah, it wasn't like the
St. James
Belgian beers, which were they were
flying.
Wonderfully carbonated, but
the cork started climbing out as soon as the cage was off of it.
Yeah.
Right. Don't look at it. It's going to take your eye out.
Don't point it at anyone's face.
The color is definitely apple juicy, and the smell is sweet. Similar to apple juice, not like apple, but it's a little on the sweet side.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of sugars in there.
It's sweet, but I also get I pick up acid as well in the aroma.
Yeah, and
that was it's faded a little bit now that it's been in my glass a little bit longer, but that was the first thing that I got on the aroma.
Yeah, I agree, and also a little bit of like a hint of caramel too.
Interesting. Really interesting.
Oh man, yeah, that is interesting.
There's it's pretty balanced. The acidity isn't very strong, and it's balancing out the sweetness that's there. But I get like a little bit of a metallic flavor on the back end.
I didn't get metallic, but I'm just interested in. Sorry, I stopped my thought mid thought there because it's really interesting. I don't get a lot of sour. I'm looking for more sour to it. I guess I'm expecting more sour, and it kind of has. It kind of has a little bit of the pop like a sour apple, but not enough like a Granny Smith, like a really puckery, but just a little bit of tartness that comes with some apples.
There's a little bit, but it's not.
No, but that's the only sour that I'm picking up. I kind of wish I would get.
Oh no,
more.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm
saying that's
the
the sensation that I'm getting from it. I want to say it's a breadiness to it a little bit, but I don't think that's the right word.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe.
I could get breadiness, very light.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's very little hops in this, so that you don't have bitterness, and the acidity level is just enough to keep it from being cloying.
Right.
On the sweetness, but you could definitely use a little bit more.
Up front for me, I get a good acid, and I kind of expect it to ramp up from there, and it doesn't. It actually goes the other way. It kind of flattens out. I say flattens not in a bad way, but it kind of reduces itself to a sweetness, which isn't bad because the next sip cleans it. It's kind of like the reverse of what you normally get. Instead of starting sweet and getting acid, like to cleanse the palate, I'm getting the reverse: acid up front, and then a little bit of flat sweetness that sticks around a little bit.
Yeah, but
I'm just thinking. I think all of us are trying to put our finger on something, and I think we quite.
I'm getting like a tannic or. I definitely get a metallic aftertaste.
Well, it says it's a sour golden ale with Brett Brew. Does anybody BRUX? Does anybody know what that
That's
is?
Brett Brooks.
Brett Brooks.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Short for Bruxellensis.
Okay.
Oh, so it definitely is Brett. So look at the big brains on Brad over there.
No, I
Brett
think you're saying.
I said bread.
Oh,
bread.
bread.
Like
you said Brett. Oh, sorry.
No. I have no idea what that. I'm not that good.
Oh.
No, I just don't. I said a little bit of breadiness, kind of like a white bread.
Gotcha.
Kind of.
Okay. I heard Brett. And then I was like, oh yeah, a little bit.
No, I'm not good enough to identify like Brent or some of the other ones too much. I kind of know them. They always get confused in my head because I'm not that smart. It's interesting. I keep getting this reminder of kind of like a weak attempt at a cider as I drink it.
Yeah.
Like that's just the impression.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like if you tried to pass this off as a cider, it would be a bad cider. It is a good beer, but it would be a bad cider. But I keep getting this like
No, that's
appley.
That's
kind
exactly
of
what
thing
this
going.
reminds me of. It's like when I was like 5, right?
Yeah.
And my mother would buy the cans of apple juice concentrate. That
Yeah.
She would then, dilute out with some tap water.
Yeah.
That's what this tastes like to me. I get that little bit of like metallic aftertaste.
Yeah,
in
from
the mouth.
sitting in the can a little too long, right?
Yeah.
I
That's
kinda
exactly
get-
what I tasted. This.
I kind of get that. For me, this one's just going to be a pint. It's confusing me to the point where I'm not exactly enjoying it. It's reminding me a little too much of apple juice, and that's not really what I want in a beer. And so I'm going to kind of take a pass on this one.
I'm with you. It's a pint for me too. Again, I get that metallic sort of aftertaste lingering on my palate, and I wouldn't want more than one glass.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's going to be a pint. I definitely don't hate it. It's just not my my thing. It as it's out a little bit, I think I got a little bit more sourness on. Maybe towards the end of the episode, I'll try a little bit more and see if it evolves at all. But yeah, I'm gonna stick to it. Stick to a pint. It's always interesting when we taste something that it definitely is different though. It's not a sour I've had before. I don't think there's necessarily any flaws with it. I just think that it's odd. There you go. Ooh, look at this. All right.
I couldn't judge the distance from where it was. I'm like pouring it away. I'm like, I'm just going to pour this away towards your computer. I got no vision on it.
That's all right. That was my job at that point. You were pitching, I was catching. It's my job to line everything up.
Heyo.
There's jokes there.
There's jokes. Yeah, I might have set that one up. Well, what are you trying to open there?
The last one here is the Tarantula.
Yeah, you want to try and
Based on the
listen to
USS Tarantula, sunk on October 28, 1918, 22 miles south of Jones Beach Inlet. The ship had collided with the SS Frisia, F-R-I-S-I-A.
Well, that's a problem.
Its wreckage is a popular dive site still today, brewed and bottled in Port Jefferson. And this is a sour stout. Let me see if...
Ooh, I didn't know it was sour stout.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I've been keeping my hands in my pockets, and they're a little sweaty. So
A little clammy over there.
Yeah, a little bit.
So your hands are in your pockets and they're clammy. Yeah. Oh boy.
And this is not quite working for me here.
All right, here
All
we
right,
go.
lady hands, let's go.
Yeah, lady hands.
Let's go, lady hands. Make this out there.
Can the Viking do it?
Yes, I can.
Well, use your teeth, bitch.
No, it's coming.
Okay.
Just hold it away from my computer on the off chance.
That it explodes.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
A little off mic there, holding it away from my computer. This also did not pop, so a little carbony there, a little carbonation. Not a lot.
I think that was just bubbles from you pouring it in the glass.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm realizing that now.
There was no pop when you took that cork out.
Ooh.
And we should probably say that like these have been in my beer fridge since we bought them.
Yeah, these have
2
been
months ago.
These have been well stored.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Another nice, really dark beer.
black opaque.
Yep. It's got kind of that purpliness around the edge, that you get. That's kind of nice looking.
Yeah, exactly. That is nice.
I like the aroma on this.
The aroma actually, to me, is not as strong, but it's very similar to the Starboard that was barrel aged.
Yes. Yeah. It does remind me very close to that.
See, I get a lot more sourness on the aroma on this.
It's funny, I don't get much at all
Oh,
on
yeah.
the aroma, and it is still like I'm sure there's carbonation here because there's a little bit of lacing on the glass, but it's basically still.
Can I pause for a second?
Of course.
Because on the side of the Lexington bottle has some information on the Lexington.
Okay.
I read that.
Did you read this? This passenger ship?
Yes.
Yes.
You said the whole dates and everything?
I didn't read the exact
1840s.
date. No, I said 1840.
Okay. But it was headed from Stonington, Connecticut to Manhattan.
Ooh.
Just throwing that out.
It's all right. The flavor wise, this one also is not as sour as I wanted it to be in my head. It still tastes very good. It's just not tart of darkness sour. You know, you hear sour stout in my mind immediately goes to that iconic beer.
So good.
Yeah. But at the same token, I also know that, you know, Port Jeff is trying to, you know, they have a population that they sell to, and, you know, that type of beer, like a tart of darkness, that's a fairly niche item. So stocking that might not necessarily be the best monetary decision.
You get a lot of that prune, and you know, and plum, raisin, prune, stone fruit flavors in this one. You guys agree?
Yeah, it's tasty. Again, though, I would just like some bubbles.
Yeah, I want more carbonation for sure.
I don't know if
you know what?
I don't know if the intent, you know, if the intent was them to be this still, or maybe like they tried to bottle condition them and the yeast just didn't do it for them.
Well, we didn't really get down to the bottom of either of these with the pour, so maybe we'll pour them out a little bit more afterwards and see if we got some sludge down there, like they were trying to activate some yeast.
No, I mean, with the fact that these were corked, I can almost guarantee that they're bottle conditioned.
Right.
But I know that.
Sorry, the Vikings are attacking.
We're under siege.
I know that you know, it can be from firsthand experience and from, you know, all the podcasts I listen to. I know that bottle conditioning sour beers is a bit of a challenge because the lower pH makes it harder for the yeast to ferment.
Right.
So, like, you know, you have to go through. Like, generally, a good idea is to add fresh yeast, and then a trick that I learned from listening to the Sour Hour is add fresh yeast in at bottling, but do like a small starter with that yeast, and for the liquid that you use to make that starter, split it 50-50 between water and the finished beer, so that the yeast gets a little bit of a taste of that lower pH environment, so that when you throw it into, you know, this finished sour beer that has a pH of, you know, 3,
it doesn't get like shocked and be
right,
like, oh my
exactly.
God, what's going on here,
exactly. Man? That way it's a little bit more prepared and will chew through those priming sugars to give you carbonation in the bottle.
That's interesting, because the first thing I thought about in particular with the one that we found out had Brett in it was kind of what we dealt with the Burning Beauregard. How much do you prime it? You know, because the Brett's going to eat everything, yeah. So maybe they undershot it, or if this wasn't on purpose, or the other thing that came to mind was they're both high ABV. So I know the bottle conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, it could be twofold there, where, you know, it's partly due to the lower pH and partly it's, you know, the alcohol quantity, because again, the higher alcohol concentration is also, you know, unfriendly for the yeast.
Especially rocking almost 12 with the Lexington.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's probably a combination of the both. It's a good point.
Yeah. I'm kind of enjoying the slickness of this. The kind of like I know I said I want more bubbles than I do, but the mouthfeel is interesting. It's, you know, if you tip it down, you can almost see like an oil slick on top of the.
Yeah, no, it's very viscous.
Yeah, there's a slipperiness to the whole thing.
Right. I want it to be more sour though. That's the number one note. I want it to be tartar. It doesn't have to be much tartar. It just, for me, is a sour, like I wouldn't say aficionado, but you know, I've had a lot of sour beers. It just isn't sour enough for me to even necessarily be like, this is a sour.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out of the way and say like, oh, this is sour. To me, this would almost be. You could pass this off as just a regular beer that just happens to have a little bit of bite to it. Yeah, I want more sour in here as well. I think it's this. I mean, if this is their first run at doing sour stuff, I think it's a good start. But I kind of want stuff that's a little bit more intense on those sour notes between both of them, and some carbonation, please.
I agree with you.
For me, this one, I think I'm going to stick with a pint as well. Yeah, that this is what I want to go. I'll have my 1 pint of this. Maybe as a little change of pace, but not something I'm going to keep coming back to over and over.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a pint also. It's good beer. I don't dislike it. I'm happy that I have a bottle of it at home. That's one of the interesting things. That, maybe we'll crack one of them open tonight and see if those are more carbonated. Maybe it will vary. I doubt it. They're probably pretty on point, but it'll be interesting to try another bottle of it.
Yeah, I mean, we give it a shot for sure, but I just don't have high hopes that somehow I managed to get 2 flat bottles of 2 different beers.
No, especially not from a place like Port Jeff. I'm gonna assume it was on purpose, and it's not bad. Just I wish it were a little different. So
yeah, no, I'm gonna agree with you guys on the pine as well. This one, it doesn't have the sort of metallic aftertaste that the Lexington has, and I enjoy it more than the barrel-aged Starboard, but still, it's just it's too flaccid for me to really dig it too much.
Mark wants an erect, robust stout for us.
especially when they're sour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants full-on sour.
That's right.
So, here's a terrible segue. Speaking of breweries that are east of us, why don't we talk a little bit about the Pintwood Derby? Just a little update on how we did. And,
yes. Did the Red Wedge version 7 or 8 come out yet?
It was 2.1.
Okay.
Yeah.
2.1. Got it.
And I probably should have left it alone.
Yeah, I would say that
because I think I lost time.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Now, was it due to track conditions? Was there a headwind? What happened?
Well, they had it inside the back of the brewery,
Okay.
past all the tanks.
Gotcha.
But so Long Island, if you've ever been in the back, they've got the rows of tanks. Then they've got about 30 feet, and then they've got their cold room.
Mm-hmm.
So it was in that 30 feet in between the tanks and the cold room.
Gotcha.
Is where they had the track set up and everything.
All right, so it's a little congested, but not too bad.
Yeah,
it
and
was
there was
Plenty of
less
room.
people there than
Yeah.
they.
I mean, on the ramp down it, the ramp.
There was less people in the back, but the front was mobbed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a busy night.
So how did the Red Wedge 2.1 fare?
I finished 4th overall.
And
Out of
2.0 finished
third
you what?
by 6,000ths of a second.
Yeah.
And the version 2 finished in 3rd, right? Or 2nd?
2nd.
2nd. Okay. Now, do you remember the times from when you were with?
I want to say they were in the 2.4 range.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
And
for 2.0 was 2.4.
yeah,
And this one
2.4
was running
5. I
at
want to say
2
this was 2.6. I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Your low was you have one that was 249 or something in that range, and the other ones were 263, 266.
Yeah, so what I replaced the rear axles. I had straight axles in it back
Okay.
in July, and I put bent ones in because the idea is supposed to be that it keeps the wheels away from the body of the car so they don't rub against it.
okay.
And I must have had the alignment off or something because the car was doing a lot of wobbling back, jostling back and forth on the track instead
Right.
of just riding the rail like it's supposed to.
Uh-huh.
And that's where it was losing the time.
I see.
Yeah, which honestly, as fast as it was going with that happening, that's been my car's problems the whole time.
Yeah.
Every year they end up wobbling. This year it didn't. This was the fastest car I've made. It was
How did you run?
275s.
Okay.
I finished second in every heat that I was in.
Right.
And I missed the finals by 1 point.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a point system this year.
Because the computer shit the bed.
Yeah, they did the best they could. I mean, I can't imagine, you're there doing a race and all of a sudden you can't time the race. That sucks, but it's, that happens.
Yeah.
And, that was a good backup. I probably would have just shit my pants and ran home. Just been you keep everything. I gotta go.
The computer doesn't work. I don't know what
so
to do.
the fact that they were able to come together and figure out what to do and still keep the event going was good.
Right.
I mean, the good news is that Shay was not there, so she did not win. However, the guy that did take first place definitely bought his car.
Yeah, if I had to bet money, the car was purchased because I'm
Oh,
99% sure.
I have no
that
doubt.
I'm 99% sure that while searching for Pintwood Derby stuff on the internet, I saw that car in a catalog. So
No.
he's either amazing, and in which case my hat is
He's
off to you if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
If you were to look at this car,
Yeah.
unless this guy has a $15,000 CNC machine, there's absolutely no way that he made it.
The paint job was impeccable.
The paint job was like a fucking piano finish. And
That was a perfect way it was.
And the precision of the shape and contours of every part of the car, unless he had a ridiculous CNC machine, he bought it.
Gotcha.
And it's even more of a bummer because Mark makes it to the finals, and then we find out that first place gets tickets to the
Great Beer Expo
in Philadelphia, which, as everyone knows, is my favorite place on earth.
Yes, you love
it.
So
I looked at Mark, and I'm like, Mark, we're going to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to win. He's like, no, I'm not. And I knew he wouldn't win either, but I wanted to, like, put that out there in the universe just in case Oprah was right and the secret was real. So I just wanted to make sure that we could maybe do it, but everyone knew that car was going to win.
Right.
Everyone. I mean, it wasn't that it was that much significantly faster. I mean, it ran 2.62s. So if your car had ran the same thing it ran before,
if my car didn't wobble as much, it probably would have toasted it. Yeah. Honestly, like if you go back and look, Wizard was taking pictures because that's what
Wizard does.
Right.
Like, and some of the pictures that he took are like of the cars while they're still on the ramp portion.
Right.
And you can see that like my car is like at half a car length ahead of all the other cars in the race.
We lost everything on the bottom portion of the route.
From the wobble back and forth.
Man.
So apparently the next one's going to get run in August.
Okay. And
Mark may be away for it, but I'm saying right now that we're going to have a Beertastic car there.
Okay.
We'll enter that into the outlaw class because I wish I could remember your name, but I was hammered, and I even saw you. I saw you 3 times in like a week, 2 weeks. we're Goliath's owner, the giant Great Dane.
What's his name? I forget.
Yeah, he works at Long Island behind the bar. Really nice guy. All he wanted to do was win. Yeah, all he wanted to do was win the outlaw class, and he did. And he didn't even know he was going to win tickets to the Great Beer Expo because I saw him the next day. I left my card there by accident. So I went back the next day, and he was behind the bar, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, you won. He was like, yeah, I didn't even know I was going to win that. He was just pumped to win it. He was so excited to win it. And so I think we'll enter the Beertastic cards, the outlaw class. He made his 10 ounces this year.
Right.
I'm going to try to make the next one like 2 full pounds. Like we're just gonna literally put a bowling ball in the
No. The only restriction on the outlaw class is, there's 2 restrictions.
No explosives.
10 ounces.
Oh, that's the highest.
And it has to fit on the track.
Okay. So,
no explosives.
We'll beat the max 10 ounces, and we'll put some ridiculous logo on it. And,
all right.
I guarantee you the Red Wedge makes another appearance, even if Mark isn't there.
There you go.
I will then say that it's my car, and then Mark died. And I have already like, I'll say a 30% built test track that will go on.
That you're building a test track is just the best part. I'm sorry.
This is so upsetting to me that I can't do better at this. Like, it really is. I mean, 275's not bad.
I love that you're upset about that you can't do better at something that's designed to entertain, like, pre-adolescent boys.
But you see, like,
as a grown adult.
That's the beauty of it, though, is that, like, okay, we get to test drive the cars, and yet it's also still going to be hours of entertainment for our children.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Oh, yeah, exactly. Jake wanted to play with my car, and I was like, no, that's Daddy's precision instrument.
Dorothy's running around with a red wedge, bashing people in the face with it.
It's Mark's tackling her. No.
I did give her the red wedge, the 1.0, because that was a piece of shit.
Oh, that car was horrific. So yes, I would like to do better. My favorite part about the whole thing is that it is something that is meant to be fun and entertaining, but as per usual, I cannot make anything fun and entertaining. I have to take everything and turn it into a mission.
Yes.
And Andrew from LIVIV has known me for only a short period of time.
And discovered this?
Yeah, he figured this out. He's like, you just not fun, are you? Like, no, it's not particularly.
I missed that.
That was the conversation we were having when I was like, I can't believe my car's not doing better. And you could tell I was actually irritated by it. Like, it was affecting the time that I was having there.
I was a little upset at my car as well.
Yeah, well, that's
like after the first race when I saw the time, I'm like, I'm not winning.
That's the shit thing about the only shitty thing about the event is this: the first time your car goes on the track, it is not magically going to get much faster. Like you might have a weird run where like you had the 2.4 run.
Yeah.
But you're not going to go from like 3.0 to 2.4. It's just it's literally physically impossible.
Right.
So when my car went down, it was 2.75. I was like,
well,
I don't think I'm gonna get a tenth of a second faster. Like a tenth of a second doesn't sound like a lot, but
No,
it's a lot. And that was frustrating. I was frustrated at your car too, because I saw the same thing. Every time it went, I was like, Mark's got this in the bag. And then all of a sudden, he won a lot of races, but he got so much closer.
I won every heat that I was in, but it just wasn't fast enough to win in the finals.
Right.
So it's a super fun event. I'm glad they do it. And in case you didn't know, of course, there's plenty of other people like me. I looked up times on the internet for like people who do this. Like there are adults that do this like every weekend.
Of course.
Yeah, we're dog shit. Everyone is dog shit compared to these people.
What are they running? Some twos?
No, not that fast. They're running like 2 3s and 2 2s.
Wow.
Their cars are. You watch a video of them going down the track, and you swear to God it was on rails. Like it's a different track. It's insane. Their whole weight placement is perfect. They have little machines that balance like the weight balance and getting in the perfect position. It's crazy. They have sliding weight systems that you can use in like their version of the Outlaw class. It's bananas. But I also looked up what regular Cub Scout kids do. Oh man, we fucked them up. Like,
I know.
Their average Cub Scout kid's like 2.8, like 2.85. They're dog shit. So we're golden there.
Well, that's because you're not using quarters as your weight system. when you're hot gluing quarters to it, that's when you know you're doing it right.
Or it's not quite perforated, but like the lead weights.
Yeah, the snap off lead weight
design where you just snap it off.
Yeah, stick it into the back.
My favorite was just like you see the dad weighing it in and then like going and then like okay, it's not at the Cub Scout event. Okay, we're gonna weigh it. Oh, there's a little time off. Okay, let me bring it over. Pulls out his little scale and and a handful of change goes out on the counter next to him and he's like hot gluing a penny and a nickel and
masking tape to like
all right, and let me slide it down if I put it closer to the front or closer. And then there's the other one, like the other dad is like, I put so much effort into this. My boy better enjoy it. Yeah. And the kid's just sitting in the corner picking his nose,
I think that, on the flip side, you have Mark and I that show up with like a drill with a Forstner bit in case we're a little bit over. Yeah. And then what kind of putty did we have? What was the putty?
It's tungsten.
Tungsten putty.
It's like it's like plumber's putty with tungsten embedded in it.
We got some serious fucking problems.
You got issues. You really do.
So anyway,
I'm just competitive.
Apparently,
I will win one day.
I smashed my car last year.
Yes.
I mean, I was a little drunk too.
Yeah.
It didn't help. I didn't get super hammered. And that's a long story. We're not gonna get into it. I wasn't super hammered at this thing, which was great.
Yeah. All right, guys. You have anything else?
No. I'm excited to just have Port Jeff release more of these cool bottles, especially in the little mini Belgians.
Agreed.
Just if I can put in a suggestion, use the cappable Belgian bottles.
Yes, that would be nice. If we could, I would love to reuse those and put some. You know what? That would be the perfect size container to put your holiday sizer in. It's a container that won't cause people to die.
The 375.
Yeah, that's the right size.
Like that's too small.
No, I feel like that's perfect. Then you could have 6 before you fall out of a chair.
Yeah, but like the intent is like here's a bottle, share it with your SO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You use way too many emoticons now that you're the social media master. Emoticons, and I still say emoticons instead of emojis. I can't say the word.
Did your head explode the other day when I said IMHO?
Yes, I did. It's utility with the acronyms and the emojis. But,
I don't even know what HO is.
IMHO.
In my honest opinion.
Yeah. I thought you said I am Duh. I didn't realize. I didn't even put it together. No, okay, I'm gonna go hide in the corner now.
Mark's just a hoe. All right, thank you, Port Jeff.
All right, thanks to Port Jeff. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed Beertastic Voyage, please be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to review and rate us. The guys can be found online at www.beertasticvoyage.com, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/beertasticvoyage, and Twitter and Instagram at Beertastic Show, or send them a good old-fashioned email at beertasticvoyage@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers for local beers.